Wow, dude. Alright, one of the things I'm going to bring to your attention is that I did cut the light, the brightness, and I also played around with the contrast and the saturation rate just to bring out, more visibility of these buildings so you can see a little clearer in it. Dang it, I shouldn't be eating while I'm trying to talk too. Sorry about that. But, one of the things that I do is I do observational proof videos, and this is my niche, and I'm going to stick to it. There's a lot of things that we can see, and like in the first part, these people want to, the globe believers want to come in and tell me I don't know what refraction is, and they insinuate that I'm stupid and I haven't done any research, but I guarantee I have. And one of the things is I'm very familiar with this water down here. I fish down here. This house right here, that's it's either a house or that hotel. And this is from Google Earth, which I do believe is just a bunch of CGI horseshit. But it does give us something to go by. So, yes, us flat earthers use it, and I'm going to basically do more work and more observations to prove some of it absolutely hogwash. This is Port of Hudson, and I actually fish right near it. There it is. You can obviously see these buildings are protruding up higher, so I'm able to catch it. Also, where I got this arrow is where I launch my boat, and you can see the condos in the background. So again, I'm very familiar with these waters down here because I've been fishing them for quite a few years, and I've fished from Hernando Beach 10 miles, and probably from Hernando Beach well past that, because I've actually fished all the way up by the Crystal River Power Plant. Now, I cut a little piece out of this because I just sat on this area for some stupid reason for a while. But let's get back at the buildings. Now, you can see in between the buildings the other parts of the buildings. And you can actually see this land. There's land and a pond between me and those buildings. So what would be blocking out those lower floors? Why, of course, the land that's there, and that land protrudes out in front of the buildings quite a ways. It's a nice sized pond that they built there. It's probably a saltwater pond, being that it's right near the Gulf of Mexico. But another thing that you'll notice is as you follow these floors down, how they start to appear to get compressed toward the bottom, and that's due to that refracted light. I want to say reflected light all the time, because that's what I feel, is that area right there just above the visible water is light being reflected off the water. Any reflective surface will cause a reflection. All right, this is from so you can see that this pond does exist there, and I'm showing you this so you can actually see that what's actually blocking me out. I got land and bushes out here along this outer edge, going around this pond, and here I did this little video just to show you that my camera isn't quite at 36 inches. It's actually 34.5 to the middle of my camera lens. So, I did not document exactly how high off the water it was, because on this island that we're at, it's very rocky and it's pretty dangerous. And then you have boats going by that will swamp you if you're standing in the water because of their wakes coming up to the shore. But, when you consider the height of my camera, and this water or this land in between me and those buildings, just above that water line, is where my camera height would actually be. So if I was standing right near the edge of that land and taking a picture at just say 4.5, 5 feet, I would probably be blocked out completely by that land. But being that I'm back further, I am getting blocked out, but very little is getting blocked out. Now, the other thing that I take into consideration is the tides. The tides in Hudson Beach are different than the tides of Hernando Beach. And you can go on any website and see that. So, does water have some concavity to it? Yes. I would say it does because, just like a wave, a big wave, it's not perfectly flat. It's got some concavity to it, and it does got some convexity to it. So, I'm like the pig in the middle. I say it's flat because undisturbed water would be flat. But if this water was really, really undisturbed and not moving, I would be probably getting more reflection off of it. Just like when you're, standing on a beach or the areas that I sit at Bayport, sometimes the water will be so calm, you'll get a perfect mirroring image of the sky above. And that you can go back and look at any of my videos and see that in a lot of my videos. So, these glow believers are coming on my channel, making these comments. I am going to show them by continuing doing more observations of these. I plan on getting in my boat and get closer and closer, and as I get closer, I will take pictures. Now, the only problem with trying to do that is I'm in a boat, so it's very hard to stabilize camera and take pictures or videos without having all this shaking. And this particular day, yes, I did have some wind, so in turn, I've got some wiggling going on, and I really don't know how to get the wiggling out of there. I'm sure that YouTube could stabilize the video, but also when they stabilize it, they actually zoom in a little bit on it. Would it be good? Yeah, it might be. It might be. Now, these flashes that you see are boats cutting real close in front of me. They're actually maybe 30 feet from me, 40 feet from me, going in the Hernando Beach channel. Now, these buildings that you're seeing, like I said, I go right beside that building just to the left of the condos to go into my little channel where I go fishing. So again, I'm very familiar with this, and if you look real closely, you'll see a little bit of flashing lights near that corner or out in front of that little building. I do believe that's Sam's bar. And they've got some lighting going on there, and they got a bunch of Christmas lights up. And I was down there 8 days prior to doing this video, and I took pictures and a little video of when I was leaving. I took pictures of the condos as I was going there, and then I took some pictures on my way back, which was darker, and then I also did a little video along the way. And I'll be posting that in part 4. But part 5, I'm going to do a little more observational proofs. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in my boat, go from Hernando Beach, and try to get closer and closer. Now, my angle toward these buildings may change because I have to find a good solid location, or maybe even pound something down in the ground or down through the water on the bottom and mount my camera to it to stabilize it. I will try my best to bring you more evidence of these buildings. Again, like I said, getting closer and closer to them. Now, I try to cut this video short only because of the fact that, people lose attention or, you know, lose focus after so many minutes if I don't bring things, you know, into perspective. So, you know, you can take my videos for what they're worth. The Globe Believers don't have to accept it. You can make the comments, but just do not make nasty, insulting remarks, because I will delete your comment and I will block your ass. Because I'm not going to sit there and argue with you uh, about intelligence and how much smarter you are than I am. Okay? And Google Earth just does not match reality. And I'm going to prove that by doing, you know, more pictures and videos of these condos. I plan on going there tonight, possibly, and or today. I want to get there before it gets dark. You can see these Christmas lights up in the corner, which my video eight days prior shows. But I want to get there before it gets dark and take some pictures and videos, you know, up close and a little further away. Show you the house on that one corner. Show you Sam's little bar, and also show you the hotel behind it. And you know, I don't expect anybody to believe me. I mean, you guys can go out and do your own observations. I'm getting tired of beating this horse to death, or flattening out the globe. And you know, I'm getting too old to be running around like a crazy man, you know, arguing with Globers that this is flat. Because if it wasn't, there should be like 40 feet of a hump of water in front of me. And as you can tell, there's not 40 feet. Now, if there was 40 foot of concavity, I think I would actually be able to see over that land in front of the buildings. And yeah, I said I was sorry about being so excited, because I did delete the original audio. And because I was so excited, I was tongue-tied. Now this boat right here, you know, I follow it. It's going into Sea Pines. It's another entrance to another little subdivision, kind of like Hernando Beach. And you can see the channel markers too. Now a little bit later here, I brightened up the screen because it does get a little dark. And with this camera, it's got it's got low light resolution. So if you know, if it gets darker out, it starts getting grainy. So I brighten up the screen a little bit, so you can actually see a little bit better. And here comes the brightness, and now you can really see a lot better. And this, you know, by brightening up the screen, it's not like the sun reflecting off the water and causing actually more issues. More distortion, more mirroring is all caused from that refraction of light coming from the sun, or actually from our Earth as it is. Because you have to ask yourself, when the sun vanishes, supposedly behind the curvature of Earth, shouldn't we be seeing light rays go straight up, or, you know, on an angle above us? But instead we get these anti-corpuscular rays shooting parallel across the sky. And same way with in the morning, sometimes we get those anti-corpuscular rays before the sun supposedly rises, and we get them coming straight across the sky. That's because the sun is literally getting closer to us, but due to perspective, like in my board test, you will lose your line of sight as any object gets farther from you on a flat surface. And I think I've done that test, but you know, people still want to argue with me. Oh, you know, your light dimmed out. Well, of course, my little light isn't as bright as the sun. It doesn't produce that much light. Plus, it's just a little battery operated light that I used in that string test, where I had a string with a light and the board, and the board was only 7 feet. But if my string would have been a lot longer, eventually that light would have went beyond my perspective, and it would have appeared to have gone below the board. But in all reality, it was literally going up because I made the board or the string line go upward, not downward, to account for the sag in the string. Okay. Again, like, subscribe, share, use this footage. Feel free to use it. I won't hit people with copyrights. But the globe people need to, go do their own tests and see what refraction actually does, instead of believing what they were told that it does, with no visual proof from your teacher that this is actually what's going on. All right. Thanks. I appreciate you watching, taking the time out to watch. Have a good day.